Today you are watching AgriNews on AATV and my name is Hopola Masego. And in our leading stories today, CEDA STANBIC Bank joined forces to help reduce Botswana's import bill. CEDA STANBIC Bank Botswana yesterday signed a Memorandum of Understanding which will allow farmers and other businesses to perform smooth transactions and operations. When giving his remarks, CEDA CEO Thabo Thamani shared that the partnership came at a time when the newly revised CEDA guidelines prescribe that agriculture, mining, construction, tourism and energy, amongst others, CEDA shall take over security assets financed. He further stated that the agreement will allow CEDA-funded projects to connect with reputable suppliers to ensure seamless trade.
On a daily basis, the agency completes transactions with our valued clients across the various sectors, which in most cases requires us to finance the purchase of movable assets such as machinery and equipment, amongst others, from establishments outside the country, especially from South Africa, China, and India. CEDA's experience with cross-border transactions has not been very pleasant in some cases, as there are projects that are not necessarily in good standing as a result of non-delivery or poor quality of goods ordered from the aforementioned places and others. Sometimes it's not only about the quality, but it's about the time it takes for that equipment to arrive here, and obviously time wasted never returns, and opportunities are lost along the way. It goes without saying that any entity that does business internationally or outside the country will carry a higher exposure risk than those operating within the confinement of Botswana alone. There are various elements that will increase the exposure to risk of international traders, such as unethical business activity, change in the laws, natural disasters, just to name a few. And with the advent of technology, do you know that you can just create your own website, put in machinery, with all the prices and everything, and people just pay and you just vanish. And it has happened. I've got customers that are just holding nothing now. We've paid money and they've been swindled of the hard-earned cash, and it's a very painful story. So this is just one of those activities that we are going to be doing as CEDA and STANBIC to make sure that we protect our own clients. And this is just one of the testimony, or rather an example of how a public sector organization can work with a private sector organization for common good. This challenge of non-delivery or poor quality of goods ordered from across the borders has been a thorn on our side for a long time. Even though we've made great strides in trying to curb this problem, the advent of technology and sophistication has made it very difficult for us to be able to keep pace with the manner in which unscrupulous characters are mushrooming each and every day. Some of these interventions being direct communication with suppliers on behalf of the clients, as well as increasing insurance coverage to facilitate transactions. Fortunately, through numerous interactions with our stakeholder, STANBIC Bank of Botswana, we managed to sit and thresh out these problems, not only from a financing point of view, but also for the sake of our clients, so that they would have peace of mind as well as having to transact in foreign markets. This CEDA STANBIC Botswana partnership comes at a time when the newly revised CEDA guidelines prescribe that for special sectors, currently manufacturing, mining, construction, energy, technology, innovation, agriculture, creative industry, and tourism, CEDA shall only take security over financed assets. What it means is that we can give you, Chico, a loan of 50 million BWP if you are in the special sectors that I've mentioned, and we take collateral only on the asset that we are procuring. There can never be any other empowerment larger than that in terms of cultivating that much needed, push on citizens. It is therefore critical that assets purchased are delivered in the right specification, quality, quantity, and on time and on budget to minimize CEDA's exposure in the case of default, and also to protect the clients and to some extent, to a larger extent, guarantee that that business will take off. The signing of this agreement further opens up opportunities for both entities to co-fund where possible, conduct joint seminars for SMEs focusing on import-export development together with BITC and SPEDU and CESA under the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry. Participate at each other's promotional events throughout the financial year, co-host media briefs on the bank's and CEDA's collaborative efforts through radios, talk shows, and/or roadshows, and share strategic information from both ends to enable appropriate solutions.
For his part, Stanbic Bank Chief Executive Samuel Minta said that the partnership with CEDA will greatly reduce the country's import bill and give renewed hope to young Botswana who have ambitions to own successful businesses.
We want to see young Botswana go into business, become very successful and wealthy, so they can generate the capital we need to invest back into this country. And for us, it is a big ambition, and we believe it's possible. By doing that so well, they would employ other people and will be able to reduce the unemployment rate in the country. And we actually saying we need to co-partner, collaborate with agencies like yourself to reduce that unemployment rate to a single digit. And I think you have a fascinating space that we think we can support, collaborate with you to make that a possibility. So I really look forward to this MOU and partnership with a lot of optimism. And equally, I take you for your word that you will make it work, and I can assure you, myself and the leadership of Stanbic Bank, we will make this work. At the end of the day, it's not just for us, it is for nation. And it is critical that we are successful at this. And I just give you a little picture of this country. If you look at our export earnings, so GDP is fairly diversified, tourism and so, but if you look at export earnings, it's a scary picture. Almost 70% and above of FX comes from one commodity, which exposes the country significantly. And look at the stuff that we consume in this country. Most of them come from outside, across the border. So I think there's a strong case, and I really support the government post-COVID recovery plan to focus on local production capacity.
That is all we had for you. Thank you for watching and continue to observe COVID-19 protocols. Please follow us on Facebook at AATV, on Twitter at AATV. Also, you can find us on YouTube on AATV channel. Good night.